Welcome to RE Master Talks with Amit. Today, we are in talks with Mr. Dinesh Salem-Natarajan, co-founder, SootLess Energy, and a veteran in RE space, along with the huge promoter of REI, RenewX, and our RE initiatives. Welcome, Dinesh.
A very good afternoon, Amit, and thanks for the invite and having me in this program.
Pleasure to have you, Dinesh. Dinesh, couple of questions what we have in mind in our RE Master Talks. Let me start with the first question. What are your views on present and future of the RE and clean energy industry?
So I think we are at the early stages of the cusp of an energy revolution that by no means was started by the issues primarily relating to the shortage of energy in countries like India. Rather, it was more of energy revolution spawned by the availability of technology. So what we are seeing now, the example I would always go back to use is when we talk about humanity and look at how we have satisfied our energy needs. We were a crawling child 100 years ago, and we definitely needed the fossil fuel to power our growth. And as we transition from crawling to struggling along, right now I think we are at the next phase of maturity where we are ready to stand up and start walking and taking confident strides, and that is where RE comes into picture. Right, 100 years ago, fossil fuel was the means to power the human race development, but today I think RE is the new paradigm that is going to carry us into the next 100 years of complete energy revolution. Okay, and that phenomena is going to be seen globally. And when it comes to countries like India, we have one of the most massive young demographics in the world. And as we already witnessed in the telecom space and in the IT space, the young population actually has the tendency and a need to leapfrog what we today know as developed technologies or developed nations, right? And RE is actually the way to carry us forward, without the emissions of fossil fuels. 50 years from now, we do end up with an aging population that is not asthmatic and healthy, but also, we have powered our way with the energy revolution.
Rightly said, Dinesh. Dinesh, another question what comes in my mind is what as an organization you're contributing to the industry?
So we have our vision set in a very clear manner when it comes to how Suitless Energy plays in the market. And there are a lot of companies that play the game, the volume game, and quick and explosive revenue growth, and so on and so forth. Whereas with Suitless, our focus is on three main things. We bring the most robust technology. And when I say robust technology, I talk about best-in-class solar modules, inverters, and we don't stop there. What we do is we actually bring industry-leading practice in how the modules are handled and installed during the initial installation phase, when majority of the damage happens to a solar module that has upwards of 25 years life by mishandling during installation. So that is our technology front. And then the next one we bring is data and analytics. And what I mean by data and analytics is it means multiple things. We ensure that every single module that is installed at the site is an investment that's being made. So we believe in monitoring and reporting on the performance of each of these modules at the granular level. And today's industry only knows solar monitoring as understanding what the inverter has produced and reports as having produced in a given day, especially for smaller scale and rooftop type power plants. It is nearly impossible to have on-site weather monitoring devices to really measure the expected yield of a solar plant. What SootLess brings in those conditions is, we are bringing out technologies where, without the need for hardware, without the need for annual maintenance, or without the need for calibration, we enable yield assessment technology so that that your solar plant has produced X number of kilowatt hours in a day. But in addition to that, we also tell you how much a normal, regularly functioning solar plant at that given location should have produced, which is a big piece of information that is missing today. And so we are enabling that. And then the last piece that we bring in is customer service. The majority of the industry is focused on getting the customer, following up on a lead, getting the customer, doing the installation, shaking hands, getting their money, and then they're gone. What we do is not an AMC, a maintenance contract, or a service by rote. Rather, what we do is, what I mean by service by rote is, there is a scheduled quarterly visit to the site where a technician goes to the site on a quarterly basis, checks the different components to make sure that they're okay, and then checks off a box saying the service support has been provided. We actually do it the other way around, and what we do is, using our data and technology, we monitor the performance on a routine basis, and we ensure that a site visit is deemed necessary based on the analysis that we do. And so that we don't operate on a schedule, we operate based on a need. So these are the three main areas in which we differentiate ourselves. And I think industry as a whole would start leaning towards these in various aspects in their own ways as they see fit, as the technology matures and the market matures too. Yeah.
Thank you, Dinesh. In fact, there's a similar question what I have. The next question which comes across in my mind is that how do you perceive expansion in the industry?